Hey guys, so here we'll be going through the entire 1HR paper, and this is from the summer 2019 series, okay? And we're gonna try and break this down in the next 1 hour or so. So as always, yeah, always make sure you got a calculator with you. A nice Casio one always does good. And you're gonna write all your answers in black ink, okay? Now I'm gonna go straight into this, yeah? So since the paper's out of 100, we're gonna try and do this. Every 25 marks should be done in about 25 minutes. With me, I'm gonna try and do it in 15. So let's have a look. So as always, you get the formula sheet, you get the arithmetic series formula. So I've got a bunch of these already covered in some of my complete topic walkthroughs. So if you don't know where my complete topic walkthroughs are, just go to my channel and it should be somewhere in the revision section. Okay, so let's look at the first question, which is number 1. So the diagram shows a cylinder. Okay, so here's our cylinder. The cylinder has a radius of 8.2, so this length here, and a height of 10. The cylinder is empty. Now, Pam pours 1.5 liters of water into the cylinder, so it's kind of slowly filling up. Work out the depth of the water of the cylinder. In other words, work out how high the water has reached. Okay, so suppose you pour water in, it's probably something like this right now. So it's currently being filled up. Okay, so to do this, really nice and simple. Because we're working in centimeters and we've got liters, we need to firstly make sure everything's the same unit. So first thing I'll do is convert 1.5 liters into centimeter cubed. Because when you work out the volume of a cylinder, the answer will be in centimeter cubed. Now to convert this directly, we should know that every 1 liter, there's 1,000 centimeter cube. So 1.5 liters, there's going to be 1,500 centimeter cubed. So this is the volume of the water. Okay, so we're not interested in the volume of the whole cylinder, by the way. We just want to see how high the water went up. So we're trying to find a new depth. So let's call it D here, yeah? Now, using the volume of a cylinder formula, which is given to us, by the way, the formula is always going to be pi r squared times the height. So this is nice, yeah? We actually got everything we need. We've got the volume already, the cylinder, which is 1,500, equal pi, which is in the calculator. The radius is 8.2. And just be careful, the height is not 10. The height we're trying to find is the depth, D. And that's it. So then all we do is literally make D the subject. And to do that, just divide pi times 8.2 squared across. So it'll be 1,500 over all of these guys. Pi times 8.2 squared equals the depth. And when you smash down your calculator, you should get an answer which is roughly equal to 7.1 centimeters. And that's it, guys. Easy as that. Okay, number 2. So each interior angle of a regular polygon, so keyword regular means that every single side and angle is the same, of this interior angle is 162 degrees. Work out the number size the polygon has. Okay, well, every time you got questions on interior and exterior angle, we should always write down all the relevant formulas. So in this case, we should know that the interior angle plus an exterior angle of any regular polygon always adds up to 180 degrees, okay? Another useful formula is the fact that the number of sides always equals 360 degrees over its exterior angle. Now looking at everything we have, well, since we know that the interior angle is 162, we can substitute into the first formula here to get something like 162 plus the exterior angle equals 180. So therefore, making the exterior angle the subject, it must be 18 degrees. Okay, now plugging it into this formula here where n equals 360 over the exterior angle, we can find that the number size equals 360 divided by 18, and this should give us 20 sides. So in fact, this shape is a 20-sided regular polygon. Okay, number 3. So here we're looking at set theory. So we're giving an entire set or domain which contains elements 11, 12, all the way up to 20 going in ones, yeah? So this is literally all the numbers we can possibly have in this set of rules. Now we're given a set A which consists of even numbers. Now what it means by even numbers is talking about even numbers in the sense of all the variable numbers you have at the top. So in this case, the even numbers could be starting from 12, 14, 16, 18 and 20. Okay, so this is your complete set. This is just like a subset of that kind of E looking thing, yeah? Now set B are all multiples of 3, in other words, a 3 times table. So going from the 3 times tables of our entire set, we can say we got a 12, a 15, and an 18. So all of this fits the 3 times tables. Okay, so now since we got all this information here, we can now answer the questions, yeah? So the question 1 tells us to list the members of the set in A intersecting with B. So this kind of arch means an intersection. In other words, what does A and B have in common? Well, we see that A and B has a 12 in common and also an 18 in common. And that's it. So these are your 2 elements or 2 members of the set. Now the second part, A uniting with B. So the U is uniting, a union. In other words, list every member in A and B, but don't repeat it. So looking at B, we can see that A has got 5 different elements, but B has the same thing except, okay, it has less things, but it has 15, which is different, and that's the only unique element it has. So in other words, just write everything A has and just put the extra thing B has. So in other words, it has a 12, a 14, there's a 15, there's a 16, 18, and 20. Okay, so it's not too bad. It's just literally observing and listing. Now the final bit, this kind of little dash, this means the complement A. So in other words, this means everything not A has. Everything A has, but what it doesn't have, yeah? So since A are all even numbers, the elements of not A are the numbers that it doesn't have. So for example, it doesn't have an 11, it doesn't have a 13, it doesn't have a 15, or a 17, or a 19. And that's it, guys. That's question 3 done. All right, number 4. All right, so this is easily one of my favorites. So now we need to solve this equation here. Okay, so to solve any equation, the rule is get all your x's on the left and all your non-x's on the right. So just looking at this for a second, yeah, we got 4x on the left and plus 8x on the right. To move plus 8x across the equal sign, you got minus 8x. So it's going to be 4x minus 8x. And to get minus 13 on the right, to move minus 13 across is going to be a plus 13. So we're going to have 17 plus 13 on the right. Now, all you got to do is just tidy this up. So looking on the left-hand side, 4x take away 8x is minus 4x. 17 plus 13 is 30. Then just divided by minus 4. So x equals 30 over minus 4. And putting this in your calculator or simplifying it, you should get minus 7.5. You could leave it as a fraction as well, which would also be minus 15 over 2. So both answers are fine. Okay, number 5. So A, write 720 as a product of its prime factors. Show you're working clearly. Alright, so this means you just got to use the factor tree and keep breaking it down into primes. So let's start off 720 as it suggests. Now to go down, always try and divide by 2 if you can first, yeah? So dividing by 2, you can, so you can get 2 and 360. So yeah, use a calculator if you're not sure if you need to divide. And then halving this again, you get 2 and 180. Dividing this by 2 again, you get 2 and 90. So far it looks good. Now I'm just going to just bend the tree a bit, yeah? Dividing 90 by 2, you get 45 and 2. And dividing 45 by, okay, so you can't divide by 2, but you can divide by 5. It's in a 5 times table. You get 5 times 9. And are we almost done? Nope. Dividing 9 now. Well, 9 can be broken up as 3 by 3. And that's it. So you've literally found the products. Now all you want to do at this stage is just circle your last legs. So for example, you're going to circle this 2, 2, 2, 2, 5, 3, and 3. And now we're going to go ahead and collect them, yeah? So we can see we've got how many 2's. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So this means you got 2 to the power 4 times how many 3's we got? 1, 2. So 3 power 2, 3 squared times, and then we got, let's see, a single 5. So 5 to the power 1 or just 5. So this is your product of prime factors. Now, looking at part B, find the smallest whole number that 720 can be multiplied by to give a square number. Okay, so what this means by the smallest whole number of 720, this actually means that since we broke 720 into a product of prime factors, we got a whole bunch of numbers. So this means that we know that 720 can be divided by, let's say, look at this, by 2 first. It can also be divided by 3, it can be divided by 5, and so on. Next one would be, I don't know, 2 squared, which is 4, so actually 4 would be the next bigger, and so on. So what they want us to do is select one of these numbers, just divide them, see if you get a square number. So let's try 2 first, yeah? So let's start from here. So let's divide 720 by 2. Well, you get 360. That's not a square number. Divide 720 by, the next one was 3. So 720 divided by 3, I should know this mentally. You get 240. That's not a square number. Divide 720 by 5, you get 144. Yeah, actually that's a square number. That's the same as 12 squared. So find the smallest number, that would be 5. 5 gives us a square number. Dividing by 5 gives us the square number of 12. 12 squared is 144. And that's it, guys. Alright, number 6. So Lorenzo increases all the prices on his restaurant menu by 8%. So let's keep that in mind. Before the increase, so the original value, the price of a dessert was $4.25. Work out the price for dessert after the increase. In other words, work out the new value. Now, for every percentage question, there's always a super easy formula I've been using. And if you guys have been following my videos, you've seen it before. It's the OV-NV formula, which is the original value times some multipliers, so 1 plus minus a rate, will give us a new value. Okay? In this case, the old value was $4.25. So since we know that all the prices on the restaurant has gone up by 8%, we're going to use the plus value. So it'll be 1 plus 8%. Now be careful here. It says 8%, not 8. So it's not going to equal 9%. In your calculator, you've got a percentage button. So you make sure you write carefully 1 plus 8%. If you can't find a percentage button, then just convert 8% to 0.08. So it's going to be 1 plus 0.08. And this will give us the new value. So literally just smash this all at once in your calculator. And doing so, you're going to get exactly $4.59. Now, the next part is literally the same thing, yeah? So it says that after the increase, so after the 8% has been affected, the price of the lasagna is $9.45. Work out the price of lasagna before the increase. So this time they want you to find the OV value, the original. So again, we're going to actually use the same formula here. So repeating the formula, just writing it here. We've got OV 1 plus, because we know it's an increase, some rate will give us a new value. Well, using all the values we got, so since we're trying to find the OV value, we can say that OV times 1 plus 8% must give us $9.45. So all we do is literally just divide this part across and make OV subject. So therefore, OV equals 9.45 over 1 plus 8%. Just put that in your bracket, put that all in the calculator exactly as it is. Don't do no middle steps, yeah? And when you do that, you should just get a straight up answer of $8.75. Alright, number 7. So the diagram shows an isosceles triangle ABC. So isosceles literally means that two lengths on both sides are the same and two angles are also the same. Okay? Now, it tells us that we got a length AB, which is equal to AC, which is 7.5. So yep, they show it here. Cool. The height of the triangle is 6, so that's the vertical height from top to bottom. Calculate the area of the triangle. Okay, so not too bad. So to work out the area of the triangle, let's put a formula down. It's always half times the base times the height. Well, we don't have a base, but we got a height. So the only way to actually get the base is to use Pythagoras' theorem. And why? It's because we've got a right angle triangle right here, and also the other side. So we're going to try and figure out what this little base bit, well actually the base is the whole thing, but we're going to try and work out this little small base first. So let's call that x. And when you work out this x value, well, double it and then you got the whole base. So let's do it. Now to use Pythagoras' theorem, it's always a squared plus b squared equals the hypotenuse squared. So in other words, we got 6 squared plus x squared must equal 7.5 squared. Now to get x, we just subtract 6 squared across. So we're going to have x squared equal 7.5 squared minus 6 squared. So put this all in the calculator and then therefore square root your answer. When you do this, you're going to get 4.5 centimeters. So that's our x value. So in other words, our x value right now, just updating everything, is 4.5. That means the whole base, which is 2 times that because it's exactly the same, is going to be now 9 centimeters. So this means to work out the area of the triangle, we can use the formula we had right over here. So it's going to be half times the base. So what's the base again? The base is 9 times the height, which is 6. Put this in your calculator and you should get 27 centimeter squared. That's it, guys. I hope this question helped.